This is such a great, unique, fresh scent. Hey Fragrance family, I'm David and I'm a Fragrance Bro, of course your best source for everything fragrance related. Today I have a review of this right here. This one is the Soft Lawn by Imaginary Authors. Now I actually did a couple of videos about this in the past, and I did kind of a review, kind of a live review with Jer, former host on the channel in the past. But I wanted to kind of make this a kind of different review video because I've gotten a lot of wear over this for the last few years. I've gotten to try it more, and I think I have maybe some different thoughts of this, maybe some updated thoughts, as well as maybe a deeper review of this. So today we're going to go a little bit deeper into the Soft Lawn. Now, of course, Imaginary Authors is a brand out of Portland. I really love them. They have really great, unique scents and such a cool vibe to them. They're just a vibing company. Really enjoy them a lot. Now, they actually just came out with a couple of new fragrances that I haven't tried just yet, so I'm hopefully going to try those soon. But this one right here, I've just been thinking about recently because of the warmer weather just starting to creep out a little bit down here. It's been creeping here and there for a long time. But I've been thinking about this a lot because this is one of my favorite fresh scents for the springtime. Now, notes in this are linden blossom, grapefruit, laurel and ivy leaves, oak moss, vetiver, and fresh tennis balls, kind of that imaginary note. And this was one of the core fragrances that was released with the line of Imaginary Authors when they launched the line years ago. And this one has kind of just been one of their better sellers in their line. It's changed maybe a little bit here and there, and they updated the artwork a couple of years ago to this right here. And I really like this artwork a lot. Kind of their newer aesthetic, updated line. And I think with that came a little bit of a change in the scent as well. I don't have the older scent to compare, but all that to say, I don't really remember how they change, how they compare. But to me, in my memory anyway, this seems pretty similar to the original one. And generally, whenever they make changes, it's not major changes. It's just slight changes to kind of tweak it. And I think generally what they do is better than the original one. Now, of course, from the name, you get definitely a green type of scent. One of the things I get right away, of course, is grapefruit. You get that grapefruit, but it's not super citrusy, but it's noticeable. You can definitely smell it, but it's not like you're biting into a grapefruit or drinking grapefruit juice or something like that. You can smell it, but it has some greenness in there. And I think predominantly what you get right away is linden blossom. I have some family out in the Denver, Colorado area, and we went to go visit them a few years ago, and such a gorgeous city. My gosh, what a gorgeous area out there. And along the streets that they had where they were in the neighborhood, they had linden blossom trees. And I remember smelling them, not knowing what trees they were. It was blossoming at the time in the summer. And I remember thinking, wow, this smells so much like a Soft Lawn by Imaginary Authors. I looked at the tree and did kind of a Google search, and it turns out it was a linden tree and they were blossoming. So linden blossoms, go figure. So this has a really distinct linden blossom type of smell, and that's the predominant smell I get right away. There's also other notes that creep in and out, like the leaves, like the ivy. You definitely get more of a greenness to it, like a fresh snapped leaf or something like that. I get that kind of green leaf type of smell. And the oak moss and vetiver make this kind of warm green base of the fragrance that gives it some guts to the scent. And I think that's really cool. I don't think they're incredibly noticeable here, but they're really felt in the scent overall. The last note in here is fresh tennis balls. That has a very distinct smell, and you've probably all smelled fresh tennis balls. And I get that maybe a tiny bit. It's not as noticeable as maybe other fragrances with the imaginary notes are, but I can kind of get the vibe of it. I wouldn't say that if I smelled this, I would think it smelled like fresh tennis balls or there's some kind of fresh tennis ball note in there. I don't think it's that noticeable. I think that generally the vibe of this scent is kind of this green, fresh scent with a twinge of kind of this hyper sourness in there. You don't really get the tennis ball smell just by smelling the scent alone. Now, as far as performance on this, I find this is pretty good. In the average, maybe a little bit above average range, kind of just sits in a very comfortable way and lasts a good amount of time. I have no complaints with this at all. I don't find that it's weak at all. I think this is great for spring, especially spring. It does work really well in the summer. It's very casual. And I also think think this is very work friendly as well. This almost smells like something that is soapy, fresh clothes in a way. So I think you could wear this in a work environment and not really offend anyone. They may just think that you have just really nice clothes. So in that way, it's one of those kind of ninja scents in a way. I think it's really good. And this isn't cloying in any way. So I think if you maybe even over applied it, I don't think that it would be offensive even if you over applied. So that's another really good quality about this. Overall, I love this scent. It's just one of my favorite scents for the spring and summer. It's just a wonderful offbeat, off-kilter type of fresh scent that is different than any other fresh scent out there. It kind of takes cues from original fresh scents, but does its own thing in its own way, writes its own story. So if you like those type of scents, definitely check it out. It's a wonderful site, wonderful line of fragrances, and they also sell samples. You can go and check them out. With that, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Fragrance X. Fragrance X is an online reseller that sells thousands of legitimate products for a discounted cost. If you're considering buying a fragrance, definitely check out Fragrance X. I'll have a link down below to them as well as a coupon. But also check out Rakuten.com. Rakuten.com is a website that offers you a rebate with every purchase that you make through their website. They actually have a deal with Fragrance X that offers you a certain percentage in rebates just by buying through Rakuten. So I'll have a link down below to them as well. Definitely check out Fragrance X and Rakuten together. Great. But what do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts about Soft Lawn. Do you like it? Love it? Hate it? Let me know. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave with Fragrance Bros. Bye.